Hello. In this video, I will do a dosage calculation regarding pediatrics calculating intake and output. So in this video, I will go over calculating intake and output for pediatric patients. Okay, so here are some key notes. Uh, this process is the same as adults. Just make sure to consider all forms of intake, such as oral, IV fluid, IV medication intake. So it's just like adults. I think there's the only difference is make sure to consider all forms of output, urine output, wound drainage, and test tube drainage, right? Remember, infant and children might be wearing diapers. So I think that's the only difference. Okay, uh, keynote. So urine output is equal to the wet diaper weight minus dry diaper weight. And 1 gram, so write this in your notes, 1 gram equals 1 milliliters of urine. Okay, so let's do example one, or I think there's only one example. During the nurse's 12-hour shift, the infant drinks 8 ounce of formula and then vomits 30 milliliters and voids 3 times. The infant's dry diaper weighs 25 grams. The first wet diaper weighed 80 grams. The second weighed 95 grams, and the third weighed 100 grams. Part A says calculate the infant's intake in milliliters. So if I need to go up the video, uh, I'll read it again if so you really understand. So during the nurse's 12-hour shift, the infant drinks 8 ounces of formula, vomits 30 milliliters, and voids 3 times. The infant's dry diaper weight is 25 grams. The first wet diaper weighed 80 grams. The second weighed 95 grams. And then the third weighed 100 grams. Part A says calculate the infant's intake in milliliters. Okay. So, all we got to do is for part A, calculate infant's intake. So I think all we got to do, what was the intake? The infant, oh, the formula. So the infant drank 8 ounces of formula, right? The intake or the one they put in the fluids is the formula. So the baby drank 8 ounces of formula. So it's going to be 8 ounces times so our final answer has to be in milliliters. So what we have to do is use what we have. It says it vomits 30 milliliters and voids 3 times. So it's going to be 8 ounce times 30 milliliters over 10 ounce. And the ounces disappears. And so you're left with uh, 8 times 30 over 1 times 10. And then you're left with milliliters intake. So 8 times 30 is 240. Okay. So that would be your answer in part A. Okay, let's do part B. Part B says calculate the infant's output in milliliters. So the it's basically the wet diaper minus the dry diaper, right? So the first wet diaper weighed 80 grams. So what we have to do is to figure out that urine output, it's basically the wet diaper minus the dry diaper weight. So what is our dry wiper? This thing. Oh, the dry diaper weight is 25 grams. Okay. So on part B, calculate the infant's output in milliliters. So what you got to do is first take the first wet diaper, which is 80 grams minus the dry diaper's weight. So that's going to be 80 grams minus the dry diaper's weight was given as 25 grams. So 80 minus 25 is 55 grams. Okay. Then what we have to do is find the second wet diaper. So the second diaper, and then minus the dry diaper weight. So the dry diaper weight is a constant of 25 grams, right? That doesn't change. So it's going to be 95 grams minus 25 grams, and that gives me 70 grams. And then finally, the third one, the third white. So the third wet diaper minus the dry diaper weight. So the third wet diaper, I believed it weighed 100 grams minus the dry diaper weight still constant of 25 grams. And that gives you 75 grams. Okay. So all you got to do to calculate the infant's output is add them all up. So let's see, the first, here, let me kind of box this, 70 grams, 75. So you just have to add them up. So it's going to be, the first one was 55 grams, plus the second one was 70 grams. And then the third one was 75 grams. And when you put it all together, you get 200 grams. Now, remember, we want it in milliliters, so that's not our answer, right? To calculate infant's output in milliliters. So we kind of have to do kind of conversion. So remember, they specifically said that what did they said 1 gram right here. 1 gram is 1 milliliters of urine. Okay, so we're going to use that information. So yeah, 1 gram is equal to 1 milliliters of urine. So we have 200 grams, so that's going to be 200 milliliters. So our final infant's intake was the 200 milliliters, right? And when you add up all uh the wet diaper and the dry diaper weight, plus the 30 milliliters of vomit, because that's still technically an output, right? Vomiting is an output. So 30 milliliters of vomit. So the total amount of output in milliliters is going to be 230 milliliters output. Okay, there's your answer. Okay, there's a last part. Part C says, what is the infant's fluids balance? So basically you take the answer from part B, which is 240 milliliters. So it's 240 milliliters that wait, where did I get my 240? Oh, answer is that's 240 was from part A. So the answer from part A minus the answer from part B. So part A minus part B will give you the answer C. So what is the infant's fluid balance? So what was part A about? Part A was all about calculating the infant's intake. Okay, yeah. So intake was part A was 240 milliliters. And then part B says calculate the infant's output in milliliters. So that was 230. Yep. So all you got to do is subtract part A from part B. So 240 minus 230 milliliters, and you're going to get 10 milliliters is your final answer. Okay. So I am going to stop here, and I'm going to stop here.